Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renee Novak at blessedbycards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm here today to share with you another Make It Weekly Wednesday video. We're going to make this cute little purse together, and it houses a little lip balm. So this is really something that you could give as a stocking stuffer, or you could use it as a gift card holder, but I'm making a bunch of these for my craft fair that I'm going to sell these at a lunchtime craft fair at my work. So let's get started. We're going to create a one just like this, but with different designer series paper. So let's get started with the supplies that you're going to need. You're going to need a piece of 6x6 designer series paper, whatever kind that you want. You're going to need another strip of designer series paper or coordinating colored cardstock. I'm just using the back side of this designer series paper. Okay, and then we're going to use some ribbon for your handle. This is about a 6-inch piece of ribbon twine. You can use whatever coordinates with your choice of designer series paper. We're going to use a little bit of bling, some tear and tape, some magnets, and of course our glue. So the first thing you want to do is grab your scoring tool, because you're going to need to do a little bit of scoring. So on this one, you're going to need to score at 1 inch and 1¼ inch and 4 3/4 of an inch. So that's going to be your sides. Then you want to rotate it 90 degrees and score at 3½, 2½, and 3½ to make this a 1-inch little strip. This is where your lip balm is going to live. So this is just a 2½ and 3½ inch score. Okay, so then the next thing you want to do is grab your bone folder, and you do want to fold on all those score lines and just burnish each one of those like we do, and then fold this one up, and this is, like I said, this little valley here is where your lip balm is going to live. So you want to place that valley going up and down. And then we're going to make a few of these little fun folds. They're a little bit crazy, but they work. You might not be able to see as well, but you put your little finger or a fingernail there, right in that corner score. And then you want to kind of fold that score back onto itself. So you're going to bring it back this way. And hopefully you can see that. You're going to line it up with the bottom there. And then you just burnish on that with your finger. And that gives you... I'm throwing my stuff all over here. That gives you your first little fold. Do the same thing on this side. You just want to burnish it and fold it the opposite way. So hopefully you can see that. That's coming up to make a triangle on this side. And so I will do that with trying not to get my head in the camera. And the thing you want to do is just make sure that it's kind of even on the end, so that when you burnish it, it will fold up and close into this little kind of a fun fold like this. Okay, so you want to do the same thing. Just kind of find that scoring line and fold it back onto itself, making sure that you bring it up again so that it's even on this piece here. It's a little awkward going this opposite way, because depending on how you're right-handed or left-handed, you just have to grab it and fold it back onto itself. And again, just make sure that you have it even on these ends. So then when you get done, you should have something that kind of looks like this. A little bit of a wonky boat. But you're going to put your lip balm inside of there, and we're going to create this cute little purse. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is grab some tear and tape, because we want to secure our handles down. So I'm just going to grab some, and I'm going to also use glue. So the tear and tape is really for your handles to keep them secure. And so I'm just going to put it halfway on that score line, because my handles are going to go on this side of the score line. So when you fold it up for your purse, your handles come out. Okay, so I'm just going to grab that, tear that off, and then bring in my twine that I cut, and that's again about 6 inches. And I just put it right here, and I use my bone folder just to, wherever I put it. Sorry. Okay, I use my bone folder just to kind of burnish it a little bit in that tear and tape. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side and burnish it in there. And then I'm going to take some glue, and you want to put glue on this triangle, but not the baby triangles. And then these two here, but not the baby triangles. Okay, so we're going to put glue right here and right here. Again, not the baby triangles, the bigger ones. These are going to be your sides. And then you want those baby triangles to stay clear because they're going to be your folds. So then we're going to fold this just flat, and I'm going to take again my bone folder and burnish that down so that I'm making sure that that handle is nice and secure. And then that is that side. You want to flip it around so that you can do the same thing on this side. I'm going to give it a nice little burnish. And that is the beginnings of your cute little purse. Now you could leave it like that with the sides kind of square, but I kind of pinched mine just a little bit so that they would look more like a purse. So you don't have to do a lot of, no scoring for that. You can kind of come in here and push it, but just a tiny little crease so that it goes up on the side. Okay. So then the next thing you want to do is your little flap. So I'm taking a piece of designer series paper that matches, and you can score it ahead of time if you want at 1.5 inches, or you can just put it on your purse and fold it over, which is what I'm going to do. So you can score it at 1.5 inches ahead of time if you want, or you can just do it like I'm doing here. And so you want the opposite side to show, otherwise it would just blend in. So you're going to put some glue on here, and then you're going to bring it over like this. Okay, so I'm going to get my adhesive, and I want to put some right here on this side. I kind of made my little bit of a crease, so I kind of know where it's going to go. And then on the back of where your handles are, you want to put that so that it's pretty even. And then you just kind of hold it in place. That's what I love about the liquid glue. You can kind of just kind of hold it on there. And if you use tear and tape, then you have to put it exactly. And you just fold it over, and that becomes your little purse front. And then if it's too long at the bottom, which mine is not, but if it is, you can just trim off that little bit. Okay? All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is bring in just a 1-inch circle punch. I think this is just to cover up that hole from the tag punch. Now, I realize that that tag punch is retired, but it is still good if you have it. If not, you might be able to find it on clearance or maybe a similar tag. So now, punch. So now I'm going to take these two little teeny tiny magnets. I'm going to put one away and one up here. Okay, so what you want to do is make your closure. So what I did was I just took a straight pin, and I just grabbed my straight pin. How I did it was I just kind of figured where I would want that to go, and I put right in the center of that just a little hole, and I punched it just down, and I pushed it down enough to have my pin come through, and then I kind of made a little hole for it so that when I turned it on this side, I could see right there where my pinhole is, and that is where I want my magnet to go. Now, I did use some pretty hefty glue dots. These are larger glue dots for my magnets because you do want them to stick. Okay, and so without getting them all over my fingers, I'm going to grab one of those, and I'm going to stick my magnet right down on there. So there's my magnet right on there. And then Again, we're trying not to get the glue out of my hand. So this is where it's going to go. It's going to go right on that hole. And I'm going to stick it straight down on there. And there's other closures that you can use. This is just what I had. So I'm going to peel off my glue dot. And now I have a little bit of extra sticky glue on there. And so I took a little strip of the Designer Series paper and I want to cover up that magnet. And that glue should hold it there. And then you can get your paper snips and you want to make sure that, you know, it is covering so that you don't have any glue. If there's any extra glue dot, just pull it off so that it doesn't interfere with the closing. And then I just snipped this off while it was in place. And you can pre-measure this if you don't want to, but it's just easy enough to snip off and it's right there. So that kind of houses your magnet on that side. And then now it's ready to go. So this is going to go right on here. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to kind of close it up and I'm going to take my second magnet and I'm just going to stick it on there because it goes right to where that other magnet is and it just adheres. Now you know exactly where that magnet's going to go, and it's going to go right in between this little yeah, what do you call that, the hole for the tag. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to make sure that your glue dot is in here. So I'm going to bring in another glue dot. These are kind of big, so I'm going to fold this one over a little bit. Make it a little bit smaller for this one. And I'm going to put that right on my hole where I want my glue dot to go. And on this side, I'm going to stick my little round circle. But I am going to glue that on. But for right now, I'm just putting it on here so that I can pick up that magnet. Okay, so then what you want to do is you just want to close it up, and then that glue dot will pick up the magnet. All right, so now you have it on there, and I just grab my bone folder and make sure that it's pretty much on there. You want to make sure it's pretty burnished on there. And then again, I took that little strip of Designer Series paper to cover over that magnet so that it's, you know, secure in there. And so for this one, I'm just going to snip off that side. And you can add a little bit of extra liquid glue if you want, but this just kind of houses it and keeps the magnet in place. So then, because I just had a little bit of glue dot on this one, I can pull this off and get some adhesive that will keep it on there a little more secure. So I put that on there, add that back to my little purse closure. And you can make a little design. You can do a star, you can do a heart, you can do a flowery look if you want on the front. This one I did I embossed it with an embossing folder, and I took a little star punch and then added another punch on top of it with some bling. So you can kind of be creative on how you want your closure to be. But then when you close it up, the magnet adheres to it. You stick your lip balm inside, and that is that. And then to finish it off, you can either do some rhinestones or you could do some pearls. Either way, whichever you decide you want to do. I'm just going to grab a little rhinestone right here and stick that right in the center. And that is how stinking cute that purse comes together for your lip balm. So that's our weekly Wednesday. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. And until next time, be blessed.